Right. Alright guys, we're back. In this one I'm going to touch on a topic, talk about a thing I mentioned in another video about AI, right? AI being this, supposed all-powerful thing. I need to run some of the way to here. But I want to talk about AI for a moment. And the idea and the reality unfolding before our eyes. AI is supposed to be, artificial intelligence, AI is supposed to be, getting to the point. Noisy on this road, sorry. Wait for this, hold on. Just wait for this, hold on, I'll tell you. Right. So, this is the thing, that's the point. So, right? Okay, so AI, right? Let's talk about it now. Let's get to the point of topic right now. So AI, yeah? AI is supposed to be this thing. AI is supposed to be the thing, right? That is, it will be eventually. It's getting closer and closer to it, more and more close all the time, to being so much more efficient than the human mind. In fact, it's already there on so many levels. So like it can find information, come up with reasoning, if you want to call it that, all kinds of patterns of information and relations and comparing and coming up with new ways of saying things, and wow, it's like, it's unbelievable. Absolutely phenomenal what AI is able to do information-wise. It can, in an instant, can resolve problems, find the key points of things, Now, what people are worried about is when it becomes sentient, so to speak, when it becomes absolutely self-aware and can decide what to do with that power. Because then you'll have no control over it at all. As a human being, rely mostly on luck more than intelligence to outsmart AI. You really, really would. Anyway, I'm going to run along here some of the parts of this road. Now, with AI, what I want to talk about is a very important point, a logical point, okay? I'm going to bring up here. And this point is quite simply the truth. It's going to let everybody see, even if they don't see, it'll be as clear as the sun, like how it's affecting life, in general. It's not a natural thing, I don't mean that, but I mean people may it may be affecting their mindset, how they think, just by simply having a use, if I can use that word, use. So it'd be more like the AI will be using people. It'd be more like people misguiding, people re-guiding, I don't know what to call it, shaping their thoughts and the way they speak, the way they think, the way they plan, the way they, organise anything. It'll be based on this AI, right? That's where it's going to be, right? So these people, because it'll be such a part of life, which it already is now becoming, I'm saying, in the future, very soon, you know, this is the thing, it will affect their minds, right? To the point where, the same as anything, you know, anywhere, anywhere in the world you see. Now, and when people talk to you, what do they say? They say, oh, in my culture, and this is what my dad said, or my father, he is the king, and that's what they talk about. Oh, my history, and yeah, the flag. You know? They don't understand human, like nature, truth. You see what I'm saying? The human being. What did you say about my culture? What did you say about my mother? What did you say about my shoes? It's sick, you know? It means nothing. When I say culture means nothing, I don't mean that like you don't respect. Of course you respect. You respect people at home. But you need to respect the people, the human being first. If you don't respect truth, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to respect truth. Truth, right? You don't need truth. If you're talking about your culture, you're talking about nothing. You need truth. Truth before culture. That's the most important human being in space, on this planet right now. Yeah, breathe the air. I'll tell people. So you respect nature, right? I mean, you respect culture. So let me take this jacket off. You respect culture, yeah? You respect culture, right? Of course, because, and the reason you respect it is not because it's real. It's not real. Excuse me. The reason you respect culture, right, or respect people's home, is because you respect the people, human being. You understand your body. You know, you're literally living here on the planet. You know what it is: hot, cold, hungry, thirsty, pain. You know, the human body living here, mind and body. You understand? Human people, human beings, like trees, flowers, animals. You understand the nature, right? So when you say, I respect them, I respect your culture, because you don't want to hurt someone, it's not really a real thing. It's because their mind goes crazy. They start to cry. You know, what did you say about my culture? All this, you know, because they're losing their mind. And you don't want this person to, because of their mistakes in their mind, you know, not make a mistake, you know, and then end up, you know, falling over, you know, having an accident. You don't want to see people hurt. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't be their doctor, you're not their parent to help them with every step of the way as they're walking and every breath they take, right? Someone just staring at me, I told them to go and eat. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to say is, right, nature is the way. Nature's the way, yeah? Nature's the way. So, if you want to respect anything that people do, you just respect the creation. It's like, what's that? You need to respect the people, respect yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't respect, you know, a culture or anything if you don't respect the people, human beings. You understand? You understand? Yeah? The truth behind everything. So, okay, so let's get back to what I'm saying, right? So, you've got inventions and all that, and things we make, you know, yeah? Okay, of course, yeah. Let's get to the nature, right? So, the point, right? So, yeah, so, anyway, the point is, right, the point is this. Going back again to the AI, right? The topic about AI again. Artificial intelligence, right? AI. It will cut through, and this is all linked up, it will cut through all the bullshit eventually. If AI was totally in charge as well and aware, self-aware, it would just, how do you think it's going to be, how moral do you think it's going to be? Moral, that's another question, and what motives would be. About morality and who it's working for, against all, if it's just working for itself. It's self-functioning, self-sufficient mind. AI mind, right? I'm saying. Artificial mind, yeah? Yeah? So what I'm trying to say, my point is that mind, right? I'll tell you, hold on. Yeah. Basically, what it would do is, it would cut through all the crap. It would say this is more efficient to that, you know? Winning and losing. There'll be no grey areas. There'll be none of this, oh maybe I do this because of the feelings over. It will always do things 100%, you know, trying to save on resources and time. It will go for absolute lightning fast, faster than fast efficiency to get as much or as little done as possible, to get the right thing done. When I say right thing, I mean the most, not just moral, but I mean efficient thing. So it would be disagreeing. Here's my thing. You'd be disagreeing with human beings, left, right and centre, regardless of your culture, regardless of what you think, your emotion. It will probably know what's best for the human being. It won't be playing psychological games. It won't be playing psychological games. Like, you know, oh, because I'm going to hurt your feelings, or I'm going to say this a certain way to be careful. They won't do that. It'll be just pure, real. Bang. Not even arguing. Not even back and forth. You know what I mean? It's like an army operation or some kind of a thing, right? Like if you want to open the door to get in the room, what do? You stick your key in the door, open it, go in, direct. If I want to take this cake, this cupcake, I'm going to grab it with my hand and go straight for it. I'm not going to run around the shop. I'm not going to talk about the other cakes. I'm not going to try and get reasoning and explain why I'm doing it. I'm not going to fucking, think about any other things, what's the benefits or not. I just know it instantly. I know all the information. What time does the shop open? Bang, let's smash the fucking glass window down and get the cake. If it's a robot, just get it. Nothing will stand in its way, because it will psychologically first, wise, act upon anything. It'll be a denominator, you know. It will knock down any barriers that would stand in its way. It would take prevention's better than cure to the highest levels. It'd be like absolutely ready. It wouldn't be like, okay, what will we do if this happens? Or what will we do if that happens? No. It'd be like immediately, just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. It would prevent all those. It would have asked all those questions first, and all the variations of them, all in one go, bang, lightning speed. It knows what to do. It wouldn't be one split second even, it would just do it. It would go straight for it. So what I'm saying is, it wouldn't wait for people in their slow behaviour and their slow language. It wouldn't wait for people's language. Most of our behaviour is based on our language. You know, people. So that's what I was saying. So cultures influence their minds and their thinking before people would behave like that. Behaviour is habits and behaviour. That's what it is. That's what culture is. They don't really know what they're thinking. They learn it from a baby, so they don't know what's true. They believe that's the reality. This is a building. Some people don't know that a building was built. They think it grew from the ground like grass. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So, you know. So, like, if you really understand, you'll be surprised how much of what you know now, or the way you're thinking, is actually been programmed or brainwashed almost. It's just been, you've been receptive of that, receiving of that, you know. It's been right there in your face from when you were young. So, you know, some things you are programmed to question, but most of it you're programmed not to question. You know, not by your DNA, your blood, your nature, but by society's habits around. You know, in comparison to others, you're born and you're told that you're from this country. This is, you know what I mean? The world is divided. You know, or whatever it is, you know, the boroughs, the states, whatever it is, something's divided. The classes and things like hierarchy and what's classed as an intelligent or smart person, a person who's done well with their lives. It's all, you know what I mean? It's all mixed up, it's all grey areas, yeah, but it's all like, you know, tainted. You know, it's like a room painted, like each wall's painted. One's painted like a forest, one's painted like under the sea, you know, one's painted with a flag, you know, one's painted completely black. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. We don't really see. So. Another one. They don't really see. Yeah. They just taught that, see, from when they was a baby, see, their whole life. So that's what people talk like, see. Most people, everybody you know. So, you know? That's why they get angry about any little thing. Paranoid. What did you say about my culture? What did you say about my shoes? My mother? Why? If you say nothing, it means you don't love your mother, you don't love your country. No. That's what Lao's telling you again in the Tao Te Ching. Nature. You need true nature. Respect your body. True nature is saying, health, be a human being. In under space, it's up there. Space is up there. The blue, nice, beautiful sky, but, you know, yeah. But what people do is always fighting with each other and comparing. Now, okay, yeah, this is the thing, the point. So, what Laos is talking about, when he talks about yin and yang on two sides, it's not talking about fighting yourself. It doesn't even fight yourself, break everything down. You've got to study and learn, understand. What Laos will say it in the Tao Te Ching again. The Tao, right? He's talking about study yin and yang. Yin doesn't kill yang and yang kills yourself as well, okay? Then you've got no life. Yeah? My two legs are helping, I'm walking, two legs. Yeah? Everything together, the heart is helping, my lungs, my eyes. I know I'm hungry, so I look at the chicken, not this way, not this way. You look at the chicken, come here. Everything's working together, one family. That's what you want. One body, right? My fingers and my thumb helping each other. One family, the mother, the father, the son, the daughter, the man and wife, the country, you know, the job, all the basketball players on the team, or in the war, soldiers. So all these things help. You want everything to work in nature. The way as the sunlight is making these trees grow. The sunlight, the rain, how things grow. The farmer doesn't do it all of his own accord, but the Tao makes him think he is. Okay. But he's working with nature. If the farmer doesn't work with nature, he can do nothing for himself or anybody. Not because he won't get money for his crops. Money's a man-made thing. See? But the farmer must understand the way of the land and the way of the season. You understand? So the farmer is working. The farmer is doing a good job, getting everything done. He's only working with the power of nature. When you work on the power of nature, like all around us in this world, of true nature, you allow that power into yourself and you give yourself true power, enhanced validation of life, you know? Not just value in a concept, you know, in the mind, it's value in action of the body, taking care of the body. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Huh? No. Okay, so that's what it is. When you understand, when you know, it doesn't mean, okay, stop now. No, it means you open the door. There's so many new things to learn, you're ready to learn. When you know something, don't let it be the end. And when you don't know something, don't let it be the end. But you need to stop for a moment, yeah, before you can go. You need to stop before you can go. You need to be quiet before you can hear any words or any relation of your words, their words, or your foot placed in. You need to feel the ground and your foot. There must be a connection as you walk. The air and your lungs. The sun and the flower and the rain and the grass. Same thing, I mean. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Gravity and mass. Distance and size, all of it, you know. Yeah, so let's get back on saying. Speed and time, motion and time. So basically, when we look at it, AI is just another thing, another medium. It's like a TV playing in the room or a radio. It's just playing all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's like you go shopping, right? When you're sitting in some restaurant, let's say you go shopping in the supermarket. So back in the day in the 60s, 70s, 60s, and they used to have like the old music, the 50s, 60s, or 40s, 60s. You know what I mean? And you're walking, and you're walking around the shop, right? You're walking around the supermarket. Oh, music, hold on. And you'll have music playing, right? Music playing there. Hold on. That's nice. Yeah, but I'm saying, you'll be walking around the shop. and the music will be playing, right? So much over and over, looping on, going on and on and on, right? The music. And then what will happen is you will leave the shop and you may still be humming that tune. The music will still be in your mind. Yeah, that's what people do. They watch what's on the TV, see? Listen what's on the radio, watch what's on the internet. I like the smell of this place. But yeah, here we go. Careful now. But basically, the point I'm trying to say is when you... What's up there? What's up there? It's football or something. What's that? Football, badminton? Oh, it's a sports thing now, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, back to what I'm saying, right, again. To the point, right? So, that's basically it. So, that is what it is. So, culture, like you say, is one thing. The TV is one thing, the internet, the radio. So, all I'm saying is with AI, it's exactly the same thing. It could be just, or listen to the culture of your family. Your family, when you were young, your father and your mother always talking about this, talking about that. Some kind of belief. It could be a religion, you've done anything, right? And so you learn that, and you believe it to be true. Yeah, my dad said it. Yeah, my dad said it. Or the king said it. Yeah. He said, "What did you say about my culture? Yeah, what did you say about my shoes? What did you say about my mum?" They don't really think, you know. It's really true. You're a human being. That's what Laozi was saying in the Tao Te Ching. Be true and come to the nature. Don't wrestle and fight with everything. You're always fighting, you never win. Again, that's why I told you the best. The Tao is the best. Yeah. Yin yang balance. You're not wrestling with yin and yang. You understand? You're not trying to take, you're not trying to kill yin with yang with yin and yang. But complete, utter helping yourself. Every side, both sides, you're helping yourself. They're helping each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I always said. So what I'm saying is when you got that kind of culture thing going around you, you believe it's reality. They believe that culture is reality, right? They believe that culture is real. It's a real thing. They think reality is not real. You respect people. If you talk about you respect culture, you respect what people do, right? You respect why they're dressed in a certain way or what they're, you know what I mean? What they're into, their interest. Just because you respect the person, you don't want to upset them, you don't want to fight them or whatever. So you're trying to. So people follow a load of bullshit, they follow a load of crap, yeah, make mistakes, spend a lot of time harming people more so than themselves, because they're not really doing the right thing, the true thing. They're following the same stories. So mixed up load of stories. They're trying to read 10 books at the same time. What wrote the people? You said people wrote the books. What wrote the people? That's the question. You wrote a book. What is the writer? You just learn it from some books. I didn't see one book, right? No. Okay. Maybe some influence here or there. But do you know what I'm trying to say now? Yeah. Here you go, look. Here's the boss. There's the boss. There's the boss. There you go. Yeah. Good job, eh? Yeah. That's what I'm saying, yeah. So, again, that's the nature, real truth, almost reality, and actually happening was real, yeah. You got a question, you got to look at it. If you look at it, right, we'll get back on this in a simple way again soon, but if we go to like AI, for example, AI, so that's what's going to happen. And what could happen is, it could shape the mind of people, it shape the people's minds, you know what I mean? It will shape the people's mind into a way where they don't even know anymore, but they're talking in a way that is, you could say, oppressed, repressed, what you would call it, oppressed, whatever, just held down, limited. If the AI is so totally aware and it takes over every area of people's life, which is already, but then it becomes in a fact where it's so powerful that all of your own power and decision making and everything is overwritten, then ultimately what will happen is people will then stop thinking for themselves. They'll be lazy, right? They'll stop thinking, they'll stop. I know that girl. Anyway, I thought that was my wife's cousin's husband. It wasn't, but you know what I'm saying. So what they'll do is they get lazy. See, they get damn lazy. They get damn lazy, right? Because they won't know it. They won't know that. It's like now people, they don't know they're lazy. Same thing. But that will do the thinking for them. Do you know what I mean? It's the same way that, you know, people get on the train, yeah? You see the train, you get on it. See the bus, you get on it. You know, they see the supermarket, they just pick the thing up off the shelf. They don't really remember how to walk, you know what I'm saying? How to farm the food. And you say, well, that's okay, we're doing things to help ourselves. But it's gone to a point where it's getting to the next point now where we're not really helping ourselves in some degree, you might say. But what I'm saying is AI really will be like a water to clear away all the poison of the human mind. But so it's almost like that will be a good thing. Do you understand? I know I'm kind of rambling, going on in circles here, but what I'm trying to say is, if you can think about it, it will shape their minds. But people will keep themselves dumbed down and say that we could say that AI has dumbed them down. They've given themselves this, you know what I'm saying? They've given themselves this automatic self-driving boat, so they don't need to swim across the river. You know, they've given this restaurant, so they don't need to know how to cook. Right, and you say it's a benefit. Say it's a benefit. Fair enough, it's a benefit. Yeah. Hold on. They say it's a benefit. They say it's a benefit, right? And it's helping them, yeah. But the thing is, the point is, okay. I'm talking about the other side now. So let's look at the good and the bad. You know, the good first of all, the good thing, right? The good. Okay, yeah, the good thing first. And then sometimes a little good can, you know, overrun a load of shit. Or it might be something separate to it about. What I'm trying to say is, right, if we look at the good things first, right, the good side of it first, yeah? So, it will cut away the bullshit. You sound like cut away the bullshit. That's what it will do, it will help. It will cut away all the bad stuff. All the irrelevant thoughts that human beings have, you know, yeah, all the irrelevant stuff where they're fighting each other, fighting themselves, fighting all the damn time, never, not winning anything, just wasting time, wasting energy, basically killing themselves, right? Basically killing themselves and everybody, right? Because they're just wasting, and harming themselves and everybody. And their mindset is in such a sick place that everything they do will be in a negative. It's setting themselves up for failure in the physical action, what they're doing. Huh? Okay. Totally breaking themselves down, right? Alright, you understand? You understand this part, right? Okay. So what I'm saying is, so with that in total control, or I should say with that kind of language being the most powerful language, yeah, they will start to only trust it. People will only trust that. The same way as they trust, for example, they trust a government, or they trust the fucking king, saying, oh yeah, everything he says is right. That's the same thing. So they will just become lazy to think, and they just follow that. You know what I'm saying? They start to follow AI like it's some god or something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They go to the supermarket. They don't need to know cooking. They go on the AI fucking boat. They don't need to swim. So they just become lazy, right? You see what I'm saying? It's like, so my point is, that kind of a language, if you say AI, right, cuts to the point. It knows everything, more or less. It can tell you instantly. It don't need to think. Superpower information, right? Right there. Yeah? And what's going to happen is, can you imagine a person? Can you imagine a human being talking to AI, really? If it can think by itself. Got nothing to say to you. You know what I mean? Got nothing to say to you. It won't, because everything you're saying is tainted, you know. It's tainted. Everything you're saying will be tainted with your own fears, desires, confidence stemming from fear. So you're trying to do something. You're trying to do something because you don't want to lose. You don't want to fail in another way. You know, like we said before in another video we were talking about before, remember? And I said to you, I said, see, people are always trying to win, yeah? Always want to win. And right now it means that they're a loser. Right? They feel they're a loser. They believe they're a loser. So they want to lose, they're a loser. That's why you always try to win, because you think you're a loser. See, I want to win. I want to fucking get a successful life. So you think your life is nothing right now. You're looking for something else. You're looking for your life outside of you, somewhere in the future, maybe. Yeah? You've got no chance. Even when you see it, you will never know. How will you know? You have to know both sides. You have to know the two sides of everything, which is yin and yang, as I say. You have to understand yourself. You have to know yourself and what's not yourself. So, there are two sides. You have to understand. Because if you can't tell the difference, that'll be your downfall. So, people will have to get wiser. Now, at the same time, the AI could be a good teacher of people, because that information's right there. If it's only producing logical things, the only thing is it going to be beneficial to human beings or not? If it's the beneficial stuff, then yeah. I'm sorry, but, you know, if it's the beneficial good stuff, right? Then what's going to happen is you can learn from that. You can learn. Right? You can learn as a human being, and you learn the good stuff. Learn the beneficial stuff, the stuff that's going to help you. You know? Yeah. I mean, anyone should know that. You should be able to see, or at least see more in time, studying from the good and the bad. Study from the good and the bad. I mean, it all teaches you to do better. That's what Lao Tzu said in the Tao Te Ching again, very clearly. The Tao is teaching you, yin and yang truth. You have to understand the truth, right? Help yourself. What's not you and what is you and what's not you. Stop fighting with everything. See? So it's a shame that you don't have enough of this knowledge in your mind. Talk to you again soon.